Hi, I'm Monique Bio. I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Storyvine. I grew up in the East Coast in the Philly, New Jersey area. Spent about 8+ years in New York City and Manhattan specifically. There'll always be a special place in my heart for Manhattan. But kind of post September 11th, moved out to Colorado, and God, it's utopia here. It's absolutely fantastic. So I have a fairly sordid past. I actually started out on Wall Street covering internet stocks started at Smith Barney. My team moved to, Unibank Switzerland, then Mother Merrill, and then helped start at the Wick Capital Research Department. Same boss the whole time, who was a vegan, who made it even stranger. So we were this weird group covering this weird stock, the internet companies that were just a little strange. And I would it was crazy. I knew about 5 minutes more than everybody else in the world about internet stocks and business models and what worked. And I would get comments like, hey Monique, you need to go to Paris to help Telecom Italia advise them on which French internet company they should buy. And my response would be like, well, I don't know anything about French internet companies. Well, that's okay, neither do they. And I'll literally pack my bags and be in a flight that night and spend the night flight reading about French internet companies. So it was just this crazy time period, this Wild West. But what was fantastic is that background gave me a tremendous amount of detailed knowledge of the history of consumer adaptation, of how to use technology, how the internet worked, how it massively changed industries. And it's fascinating to see it here 20 years later, how it's really integrated into our lives and changed our worlds. I remember the time we didn't have email at Smith Barney, so trying to convince someone why email was so important was what I did 20 years ago. From that, I went from a very analytical world and then moved over to sort of more of a qualitative thinkers, and I worked at Iconic Culture, covering consumer insights and trends for the hospitality and travel industry. Brilliant group of people, equally brilliant as Wall Street, but just thought in a completely different way. And it really opened my eyes up to the concept of statistics now as lagging indicators, and really understood how to apply pattern recognition to fuzzy data. Before Storyvine, I spent 3.5 years running a US-UK social media agency called Conversify. And then Kyle had this idea about video and how to create it at scale. And he came to me before Storyvine, the company was created, and said, hey, I've been working on this idea for a really long time. Do we think there's a business? And it was interesting because at that time, and I think we're in 2012 now, I had also been looking at another company doing video analytics, which appealed more to my analytical side, and started calling a number of contacts of mine that ran some decent divisions at major Fortune 500 companies, and offered them the two companies and said, I'm working on this video analytical company. Do you think I should take a job there? Is it useful? Is it interesting to you? And then I would say, here, there's Storyvine here, and we've got this video production new technology. And almost exclusively, they all said, forget about that video analytics company, but this Storyvine thing, man, they're really onto something. And as soon as that happened, I called up Kyle and said, all right, let's start a company. I know who our target is. Let's analyze it and move forward. I am a passionate traveler. I've been to over 60 countries, and most of them, where I actually love to go, are those sort of like godforsaken places that no one else has been. I honeymooned in Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana. Extra points if you know what continent those are on. I just love the adventure. I love to experience things that, people have a certain stereotype about, and I'd love to bust through those stereotypes. I love getting to know the culture, understanding a lot more about the country, and the people that are within them. Been to places like Burma and Cambodia, and I've been to Syria twice. I have just a wonderful memories of Syria. The people are unquestionably some of the friendliest on the planet, and I'm very saddened to see what's going on there now. In fact, I'm actually off to a flight to Spain and Portugal for my family vacation in a couple hours. Note the cheesy Casio watch and the plain wear. There's lots of pickpocketers in Barcelona, so I'm ready, right? I also loved the outdoor stuff. In fact, when I moved to Colorado, I thought I was athletic, and then I moved here, and all bets were off. So my favorite use of Storyvine is actually very much a personal thing. I now have a 1.5-year-old baby, and I've been filming him for quite some time now. Whenever he's given a gift, or if someone has done something really special for him, I film a thank you. And a thank you video is so much more powerful from a 1.5-year-old than that sort of fake note that the mom writes to pretend that it's the kid. You can see his expression, you can see how excited he is, so much more excited about the wrapping paper sometimes than the actual gift itself, or seeing him interact with the gift. Or I did, on storybine.com you can find a thank you to a swim teacher, where she sings a little song and he kicks to learn how to swim. And I remember her telling me how meaningful it was to get that video and how special it was.